Welcome back to the workshop, everybody. So here in front of you guys will actually see four strut housings, 1, 2, 3, and 4. They're off of the 91 Toyota MR2. These ones aren't the ones specifically off of it. This is a spare pair that I have, which you guys will see coming up here in a later video, or later in the video, because this is all going to be one gigantic video here. But so basically in this one we're just going to talk about concept is what's going to happen, and we're going to start the cleaning montage, which is going to be slowly going over the next 3 days of me just slowly filming this. I did figure out how to combine videos. As you guys saw, I just uploaded the video today of the exhaust manifold that I took off the car and I restored. So you guys can go check out that video. It's the one right before this. But the reason that these are actually getting repainted and rebuilt, well, actually just going to get new inserts in them, but they were actually like pouring out oil. I don't know how well you guys can pick it up, but like you can see all the oil right there, all right there, all on that face. These two weren't as bad, but it's like very minimal on those, but it's mostly just the fronts. So what we're going to be basically doing in this little video here is we're going to be, first thing that's going to happen is we're going to actually degrease them. That'll be that'll be the montage I was just talking about, as well as we're going to do some diesel. We're going to clean it in some diesel just to get rid of all that old shock oil, because what we're going to end up doing is I have a epoxy paint from the people I love the most. You guys have probably seen me use their paint in other videos before, but this is the stuff I had picked up. We're going to see how far this gets us with these four, and then just in case I need to, I can pick up more here in a couple of weeks. But yeah, so this is basically what we're going to be using when we get ready to paint them, is this VHT Specialty Products. It's their epoxy paint, rated up to 250 degrees Fahrenheit or 121 degrees Celsius. Nice thing about it is it's self-priming. It's for all weather, which works out here because I'm in Arizona. What we mostly get is heat. And it's also rust and salt resistant, which is why I've chosen this for my strut housings. But yes, this is basically what we're going to do. We'll go over more of the back of the can later when we actually go to paint it. That's not going to be today or tomorrow, or maybe even the next day, but that's what we're going to be painting them with. And then, so basically, you guys probably also see these two mounts here. Those are the upper mounts. These are actually still in fairly decent condition. Bearings still feel pretty nice. And then, so once we basically degrease these parts here, we're actually going to leave the caps in here so I don't get any sand in the threads for them, because we're actually going to be sandblasting these. We're going to sandblast them once I degrease them, and then we're going to clean them all off with solvent, and then from there we can paint them. And then once we get to that step, we'll discuss more on that once we get there. I mean, it's only going to be in one video. I'm going to try my best to line up these clips as best as I can. But so for the first cleaning, we're going to get these nuts like tightened in all the way, and then we're going to loosen them. I'm stepping ahead here. We're going to loosen them. We're actually going to soak these in some diesel, as well as we're going to soak the nuts in diesel, and then we're going to soak these entire things in diesel over the next couple of days. And then as I pull each one out, we're going to clean it off. I'm going to clean off the diesel as best as I can. A good solvent will do that for me. And then we're going to throw the nuts back in, these right here. They just unscrew out. Sometimes they're a pain to get out, but we're going to leave these in there. I actually do have new ones, so when we put in the new inserts, when we go to rebuild these things, we can just scrap these, because I'm going to sandblast them anyway, just so I know I got everything. But it'll prevent sand from getting in the threads, because I don't have a, it's going to be a pain to clean the threads if I don't do it. So let's start taking these off here. You guys probably noticed I haven't thrown in gloves yet. Not too worried about it. And these threads, pretty messed up as it is. They were actually extremely difficult to get off. I had to put this in a vise and use a pipe wrench to actually twist it. I had to twist this whole housing in the vise. And it was actually really tight to get this nut right there, because you have this whole plate here that just barely lets you do it. So now that we've got these off, I know that one's front, and then rear. So these, you notice, they're the front, they're bigger springs, but they have less coils to them compared to the rear springs. So let's go get out that diesel bucket and let's start a cleaning montage. So first, starting off with one of the front ones. I'm not too entirely worried. You guys just actually saw that, didn't you? It's on the video. Yeah, I actually just had oil come out of these things. So we're just basically going to dip it down as far as my hand will let it go. I meant to actually grab some wire before doing this, but just going to gently drop it in there. There we go. And then let the soaking process start. Okay, so now I've let this sit in the diesel for about 10-15 minutes. We'll see how it's doing now. We're actually going to carefully flip it around. And you guys can see that oil and cake grease that was on here, it's actually already coming off. And we're going to fill that whole tube up because that was completely filled with the oil. So now that that's soaking on that side, we'll be right back in a little bit to start the second one. So now it's been about another 15-20 minutes, almost at 30 there. It has not been that long. But here we go. We're going to take it out. You guys, I don't know how well, you guys probably can't see it too well, but that grease is just about gone. Well, the grease, the oil, we're just going to drain this out. And then right over here to my, next to my right foot, I actually have what they consider an oil drain pan. I bought it at Home Depot, super cheap. So we're just going to set them in there. We're going to put them in there so that way where the strut insert goes, that's facing down, so that way it goes down. Drains out, I should say. So now we're just going to basically do the same thing here. We actually probably only need to go in this way. There we go. You guys can see all the air rushing out of there. I'll give it probably another 15 minutes on this side. And then we'll flip it over. And then come right back for that. Now we're back. We're going to flip it. It's been about 15-16 minutes since I've been out here. That cake grease, everything is, I feel the diesel. And that oil should be just about dissolved into the diesel after about this amount of time. So I'm not actually going to even worry about flipping it around. I might give it just a little dunk, but because it's not really bad on this side, it's mostly bad on that side. So now we're going to do the same thing. Flip it over, put it right in here next to the other one. And now let's start soaking. These ones are probably going to take a little bit longer. I don't know how you guys are going to be able to make that out, but that is all just cake grease right there. And you can see the diesel even from my gloves. But this one we can probably fit both of them in here at the same time. We're going to put them both in so that way they're facing this way. Try and get as much diesel off my hands so I have less to clean up off the floor. This one is just as bad as the other one. So make sure to get that one in there enough. There we go. So now we're going to let both of those soak for about 30-45 minutes. That should dissolve that grease without an issue. The oils from the strut housings. And then we're not going to be doing any sandblasting today. I'm trying to knock this all out in one day, all the cleaning. And then I start work tomorrow. So we'll basically be, we'll hopefully be sandblasting these in the morning. I'm not sure how much footage I'm going to get of that. Just because it's probably going to be a little bit dark when I start it. But I'm going to try throughout the week, get these things sandblasted, get all of the extra parts over here sandblasted. We're actually going to go work on the hardware for these, specifically more so those, and then where it mounts up and everything. We're going to get all that cleaned up, and then we're not going to paint that until we paint the strut housings. So I'll be back here in about 30-45 minutes, and we'll pull those out of there, see if the oil grease combo, whatever you want to call it, is dissolved, and then I'll see you guys then. Okay, so I actually just flipped the struts over, or the strut housings over. So these mounts here, I'm actually debating if I'm going to replace or not, because I did notice that one of them did not have the bearing cover. But I'm not too worried about rain or rust because it's Arizona. So we'll see about that. I'll get a price on them, because if I do end up buying them, it'll be here in a couple weeks. And if I do, then I'm still going to epoxy paint them. And that epoxy paint actually takes a little while to cure, as I found out from using it in the past on parts. It says just about 7 days to fully cure, and I leave them out in the direct sunlight, and it takes a little bit longer than that. So I'll bring you guys back once I have pulled them all out. That's going to this is going to be like, I don't want to say it's like a part one, but that's going to be it for today on here. So we'll talk more about that here once I pull them out. Alright, welcome back. Total of 45 minutes since I've had these in here. I flipped them around about the halfway mark and talked to y'all then. I don't remember everything I said. But, so I did flip them around. I just got to find them now. Alright, here's one. And we do have our diesel container right here, so that way, like, if anything drips, it goes right into it. Try and drain off as much as possible. Like, that grease is non-existent now. Like, I'm looking all around it. It's just not there. So, like, that just feels really clean. Alright, so now, not sure if these are going to stand up in here or not. It's kind of like a trial and error as I go. So, we'll see what happens here. Then I'm just going to lay them down at an angle so that way all the diesel still drains out. And now just go and grab the other one. Feel around on it. Diesel is pretty much gone. Or the diesel, yeah. The grease and oil is just about gone. Like, I'm looking at these, and they, like, I don't feel it whatsoever. So now we're just going to put this one over here. And then that's basically going to wrap it up for today. I'm trying to let as much diesel drain off of that as possible. And then we can go from there. Probably tomorrow morning. I'll be getting up early because I start work tomorrow. Gotta grab the rag, clean up anywhere that I missed. Getting diesel into that. So now we wait, we're actually just gonna, while we wait for those to dry, I'm not too entirely worried about these. We're just gonna get a piece of wire, hang them from that, and call it a day. Okay, so now I have gotten a piece of wire here. I don't have gloves on at the moment, just because this is all I'm doing. We probably, I'm probably not gonna end up cleaning up the hardware today like I wanted to, but it is what it is. Just because I got other projects to start working on for you guys. We're just basically going to do that. We're going to hook it on the side of the diesel bucket, and then that won't leave its spot. Now I've got it tucked up in under there. So now that's soaking in under there. I will see you guys at the sandblaster tomorrow morning, probably close to 5 a.m. or so, because I got to leave for work at like 6. So I'll see you guys then. Stay tuned. It'll be like not even a second for you guys, but it'll be a while for me.